I am back from a much needed break to wish you all a happy 2024, and I just wanted to share my top 3 things that I've learned for myself over the year of 2023. And the first one is that we are all clinging to our own truths. And the reality is, unless truth is coming from the spiritual world, any truth that is rooted in purely the physical world and physical world only is incorrect. So what do I mean by this? Essentially, this really came to my mind in the influx of what is occurring in the Middle East. And as someone who has studied the conflict in the Middle East that's currently going on and has spent a lot of time there, I am plugged into many different avenues and many different viewpoints. And what I've noticed is that on both opposite ends of the viewpoints that there's this idea that no one is this or no one is that. There are all these absolute truths that people are saying, but the reality is that you're saying the same exact thing that the other people on the other side are saying, just from a different perspective, and you're all playing at the same game. The only truth that's really there is the truth of collaboration. And so that's kind of what I mean by these spiritual truths. If you were clinging to some ideology that does not have the influence of spiritual concepts like seeking to understand or giving space for others or empathy and compassion, if your truth is only rooted in things that come from the physical world, it is more than likely an incorrect truth. So as I'm moving into 2024, one of the things that I'm telling myself is anything that I believe to be absolutely true, I want to put it through the spiritual test. Does my truth allow for recognition of other viewpoints? Does my truth allow for compassion and empathy? Does my truth reflect on itself and allow feedback and allow criticism or productive criticism to it? And if any of those things are not real, or I'm not doing those things, then I know that my truth is purely rooted in this physical world. This is a really interesting topic, but big topic to talk about. So take some time with trying to understand that, like, things that I believe, are they purely rooted in the physical and only the physical, or do they have that spirituality behind them? The second big thing that I learned this year is that we really need to stop listening to the world of collective ego that really exists online. And I see this in like a couple of different areas. Time management, the way we manage our time, being on time, being present, being there. I've had to let go of my own standards, be more empathetic of others in that area, but also understand that, like, I have to do my own thing and I have to be authentic to myself. And it doesn't mean that I can't be like that I should be dropping the ball here or there. Like, I should stay responsible and continue to be productive, but also I have to do it in a time frame that works well for me and for myself, right? Because if I'm being pushed by other people's standards, they don't have the same context that I have. I see this in professionalism also, the way the professional world causes people to conform to these spaces, to lose bits and pieces of themselves so that they can't be fully authentic themselves and work in the way that makes sense for them. Another place that I see this is conformity, just doing things that other people are doing because it's popular, right? I mean, this is something that we've talked about for many, many years, but what I'm really trying to explore is, how do I succeed in my own authenticity? How do I take all of the best pieces of me that are unique to me and allow those to build my success, not try to emulate what other people are doing to be successful? And the third thing that I've really learned this year is the only way that we can truly manifest is if we actually take risk and address our fears head on. Manifestation is about risk taking, I have realized. And I could have never started this business if I continued to stay in a full-time job. But it was terrifying leaving a full-time job and that full-time work and getting that full-time income coming in. Now that that doesn't exist and that I'm doing this on my own, it's really forcing me to be creative. It's forcing me to be productive, and I feel so much happier. There are definitely hard days, but there's a lot more excitement and fulfillment that comes from taking this risk. So take those risks. And the final message that I want to leave everybody with for 2024 is this one right here. I'm reading from the Zohar, the Kabbalah Center's version of the Zohar. Shoot, sorry, give me one more second. I'm gonna find it. This is why you should never put your book down, or you should use a bookmark. So this was the message that I wanted to leave everybody coming from the Zohar and the Kabbalah Center, is this idea that the only thing that we should really be focused on in this world is ourselves. What is in our responsibility? What is in our real house? The only thing that we have to do in this world is to lift ourselves up to our real spiritual revelation. And that comes through fighting our own ego, fighting our own reactivity, fighting our own negative emotions. Stop putting so much attention and time on other people's shit and focus on your shit and get your shit together this year in 2024. Fight your ego, fight your reactivity, be personally responsible for the things that are occurring in your life, and take the bull by the horns and be that spiritual master that you need to be this year in 2024. Thanks so much for listening. If you resonated with this video, be sure to like or share it, subscribe to the YouTube, make sure you're following us on Instagram and TikTok at PEACEWITH, and thank you so much. Happy 2024, everybody.